I know Mary likes to think she's got the monopoly on Christmas, but I've added a Christmas tree to the front of Misterton. Cold and grey December day. Here come the swans. This is Misterton's engine room, and this thing up here, going all the way up, is the fuel tank. When the engine was installed in 1948, the fuel tank, it's got the same sort of profile as the orange segment. It used to go all the way across over to this wall here. A section was sliced out of it so that we could put a door and stairs down from the wheelhouse, and this plate was welded in. But I've realised, because it's just resting on these giant brackets, that there's potential that it could slide, if ever we're in rough water, sideways. So what I've done is I've found an odd bit of scrap metal here, just welded it on to the bulkhead to stop it moving sideways. Also gives it a little bit of extra support, and that means I can start to put the engine room wall back, which has been missing for about, I don't know, could be as much as 3 years. It's been a long time since we started changing engines and that sort of thing. So I'm going to give that a little coat of paint, and then we can cover it up. Just running Mister's engine to test it out because the battery's a bit flat. I don't know if it's going to come out, but it's quite interesting seeing all the stuff underneath the ice. Got to make out the propeller spinning, but yeah, it's quite weird. Normally that's all hidden, but yeah, you can see stuff going through. Anyway, simple pleasures and all that. Basically, when I was doing the fuel tank, so I've put that, welded that bracket in to stop it shifting sideways and everything. I've then attached a piece of plywood, which I can screw this soundproofing stuff into. And then I've been reinstating basically the engine room wall. We took that off, I guess, over 2 years ago when we started doing the engine refits. There's always been this massive gap there, which is fine if you like looking at engines, which I do, but there's two reasons for doing it. One is so we can get some soundproofing in the engine room. The second reason is for the cats. Because cats in particular tend to like wandering around underneath there, and we need to make sure that when the boat's running and the boat's going along that cats don't get into the engine room. So this was originally one piece. I've chopped it in half because I may put a hinge on this door later on. I think it's going to need a bit more work. But for now, we've just got the original door, which goes like that. I've painted it red, because our friends have painted theirs red on their engine room, so I thought, well, that's a good idea. And you can see there's a hole here, but there is a porthole to go over that, so you can sort of see in and check that everything's all right without actually having to open the door. So that's the idea. But because these bits haven't been on for about 2 or 3 years, it's taken a bit of adjusting to get them to refit. So that's what I have been doing today while Mary and Nate are shopping in Norwich. Bit of spray painting, doesn't need to put the cat off. There is the door in place. There is a hole, which I've cut to fit a porthole that I found in the workshop. Just had to get some glass for it, so I shall go ahead and fit that, and we'll see what it looks like. These don't need to be super tight, I'll just do the final bit by hand. One other thing I need to do is there's a big bit of soundproofing there, which is going to go on this steel wall. Some other bits there by the oil can. I'll go down the bottom. I'll just see. I'm going to run out of it, but I'll just try and fill this up as best I can. So the idea is, when this is shut, you can still see in and check that everything's all right. Now, there's one flaw with this scheme, which I knew would happen. This door hits the porthole. You can force it past, but I'm going to need to just trim a little bit off there. So, sprayed on some glue and use these discs to hold it up. You can see some holes from where it was fitted previously, but we've got it in a different position now. So I'm just going to drill a couple more, which I've marked out there and there.
Simon, what are you adding onto the new red door?
Some sound insulation.
Did it come like that?
No, I had to cut a hole in it.
It's like one looking through the mirror. What can you see today? And what's that going to do for the...
hopefully make it a bit quieter.
in the wheelhouse?
Yeah, because the engine's quite loud. And I've added some up here. I'm just basically adding it on where I can, because then, well, just help reduce the noise, really.
Make it a more pleasant trip when we're going along.
Yeah, I've got a main bit to do on the ceiling, but I need to install a hot water cylinder first that I haven't ordered yet.
Okay. But you've already put some in there, as we can see.
Yeah, it all helps. It wasn't, I did it,
There's
I've
more over there to put
done
up.
some in the past, but I think I need to do a bit of a better job, so.
You do a better job. You do a great job, darling.
Well, live and learn. This makes a little, it's quite good, this tool. It just makes a little dent in the steel, which stops the tip of the drill wandering around.
So Simon's done small holes from the other side, and now he's going to make them bigger. The holes need to be bigger because size matters. But he's doing it from the paint side so he doesn't chip the beautiful red paint that's been painted on the door. It's getting there.
So although I've got some glue to glue the stuff up with, what I've found out is that after a while, it's done this on the workboat, it falls out. So you've got these little discs and they've got little spikes on them, and that goes into the sound material, and then a bolt. You kind of bolt through it, and then that kind of helps grip it, and then it, you know, stays in place a bit better. It helps the glue hold it up, so that's why I've drilled 4 of them. I just remembered my bolts are slightly bigger than those holes, so I need to make these bigger.
Everything needs to be bigger. Bigger and better.
It all needs a little bit of work, so I'll do that, and then we'll spray the glue on both sides, glue it up, and then drill the holes and put them through, and then leave it to set.
Health and safety. Does that work?
Yeah. I'm just using little spikes to go into the top of the wood pellet. So that's the glue that we're using, Mammoth. It's quite weird, this stuff, but I'm going to spray it on.
Why is it weird?
I don't know, it comes out in this kind of fan pattern. I've sprayed it onto both surfaces, I'm going to read the instructions, and it says you have to leave it for 2 to 3 minutes.
Before you do what?
Before you stick the two bits together.
Okay.
So
2 to 3 minutes it is then.
give it a couple of minutes, and then we'll kind of try and bond it. Through there, and that goes on like that. These don't need to be done up super tight, it's just to give it a little bit of support.
Let's see the other side. What's it look like? Ah,
Just like that. So.
fantastic. Looks nice.
See, these are just sticking out slightly because they're coach screws. So I drilled a 6mm hole because I've just worked out years ago that's a good fit for them. That just knocks them in like that and stops them turning. I can tell you're impressed, Mary. There's just a bit of a raggedy edge, isn't it? So.
Happy with that? Captain, what's your contribution been so far today? You're very content, look, wagging the tip of your tail. Happy and content cat. You love being on this boat, don't you? Captain. Hello. Oh, here comes your companion. Little Ollie, are you going to come in? Little Ollie. Hello. You've come too, have you? You're having a little seat there. Captain's having a little snooze there. Cat central.
A bit difficult to see, but over on Coop Club is a heron. I saw him sitting there earlier this morning, he seems to be back again.